In this tutorial, I will be covering virtual private networking. So what is virtual private networking? Virtual private networking, sometimes called VPN, is a technology that allows users to gain remote access to campus resources in a secure manner over the internet. It provides a secure tunnel, and a tunnel is a metaphor of course, between your computer and the VPN on campus by using encryption and authentication. This is particularly helpful when connecting to the internet using unsecured networks and public wireless locations like airports, hotels, or coffee shops. So let us consider the following scenario. Let's say your professor wishes to send some grades to the server, and maybe he's in a hotel room where maybe a hacker is in another room that is kind of capturing traffic. They are your grades, and you want them to basically be private. I mean, who could argue that, right? No one should be able to listen in or modify the information your professor sends to the server. To secure the communication, we would conceal it by isolating it in a tunnel. While this information is sent through the tunnel, the information can also be encrypted so that only your professor and you will be able to read and modify its contents. So I want to kind of visually explain a little bit more better about exactly what virtual private networking can do for us. So let us just pretend that we have someone here on the left who wants to send a private message to the person on the right. And of course they're going to do this over the network or over the internet. So sometimes you may hear that package called a packet or a datagram. And basically you can kind of think of that as like an envelope that you're sending through regular mail. And that envelope is oftentimes referred to as a packet or a datagram. So in this case, our person to the far left wants to send a package or a packet or a datagram to the person to the right, and let's just say for the sake of discussion it happens to contain some confidential information that we don't want the whole world to know about. So right now in this example we're not using virtual private networking. So what happens when we don't use it? So it goes across the network, and let's just say that this person just happens to be unlucky and an attacker intercepts this envelope, this packet, and because it's not encrypted or anything, they're able to open it, and maybe they make some changes, maybe they don't, maybe they're just eavesdropping. They close it back up, they send it along, they disappear, and then they send it along its way, and we pretty much have no clue that this packet has actually been opened and read by a third-party individual. So to avoid this sort of thing from happening between the left computer and right computer, as we mentioned earlier, we can do what's called virtual private networking. And what that does is it creates a tunnel from one computer to the other computer to ensure that anything that is sent through this tunnel is not easily findable or unpackable by a third-party individual. So let's just say, again, our attacker comes along, and by chance he wins the lottery and he just statistically is able to grab one of these packets. Likely he's not going to be able to. And he finds that, well, this packet is encrypted. It's encrypted by a mathematical algorithm, meaning that all the data inside of this packet is gibberish to him. And he's going to have to try to crack it, figure out what this mathematical algorithm is to decrypt the code. And he can try all that he wants, and he's not going to be able to. So likely what he's going to do, he's going to give up and he's just going to move along. So basically that's what virtual private networking does for us. So basically everything that I have described up to this point is what virtual private networking or VPN can do for us. The KSU campus network will not allow you to connect to certain resources on campus without the use of VPN for obvious security reasons. So for example, many of you may have used the server Maya in the past to connect to network resources when you were on campus. Off campus, Maya, many of you probably have discovered, is not available to you. So VPN can make Maya available to you from off campus. Another example is remote desktop. Many of you have probably tried to remote into your studio computer from home and find it too is not possible. But with VPN, this is possible.